Hello, welcome back. Like I said, let's check out what people had to say. We are continuing with the video of the lady who was giving a testimony on how God restored her marriage after the husband was out in the street. You know, people had, as always, people have something to say. We all have something to say in every situation, you know. Let's get into this one.
After watching how God restored my marriage after infidelity, I have been consumed with enlightenment. And I just have a few words to share with the people today. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. But after hearing this story, I believe that the favor is transferable. And let me tell you how. See, now I know that the Lord's strongest soldier list is not for everybody. It's actually VIP only, because he only gives his most traumatic, abusive, painful, and hurtful situations to his strongest soldiers, because he knows they can handle it. So for all of the wives that stay the course, meaning you become depressed, stressed, and a shell of yourself, you shall be rewarded on earth, within that marriage, and in heaven. So the next time he knocks your head between a washer and a dryer, two black eyes like Ricky Raccoon, don't you leave your husband. You just call on the Lord and he will deliver you from this situation. And after that, you need to go to your local Dick's Sporting Goods or Academy Sports and get you some headgear and a mouthpiece, because you're only being tested, but it has already been ordained that you are crash dummy approved. Amen. And let's talk about the infidelity. Don't worry about the side bitches or the side babies, because they're only temporary. You see, a husband lasts a lifetime, but the side bitches are only seasonal. You know, for me personally, it's already too late. I've already fallen short of the glory and got a divorce. I couldn't pass the test. I failed that motherfucker with flying colors, which just means I'm defective. Okay? So you can send my ass on back to the factory. But for you, there's still hope. Okay? God will deliver you out of that fucked up ass marriage, okay? You stay the course. You keep praying, protecting yourself, and you will be rewarded with a lifetime of durability, resiliency, and y'all will live happily ever after. Amen.
Every time you see a Christian couple come out to talk about how God helped them overcome challenges in their marriage and restore it, someone cheated. And we all know who did. However, that restoration is her swallowing everything. In the name of God has called him back to his household. Who called him for outside where he answered before?
There is a married lady on this app that has begged and prayed to the Lord Father above to bring her cheating, no good for nothing husband back to her after he done dipped on her entire pregnancy for 9 months, sent him a sonogram, and the man didn't even respond. There is a woman on this app that is literally telling y'all that a man can leave you dry and high with kids and a pregnant belly for 9 months. And if God says that he is for you, he is for you. There is a woman on this app defending her man to the core. And this is coming from a married woman herself. If that woman ain't teach y'all nothing, let her teach you this. Y'all need to learn how to love yourselves way more than anybody in this earth walking. Because there is no reason for anyone to ever put up with that type of foolery, that type of witchcraft, and think that it is of the Lord. Because it is not. That is the devil's work. And I'm not saying that people are not perfect, because nobody on this earth is. But if a man leaves you during your pregnancy for 9 months to go be with their mistress, and you think that is of the Lord, I'm here to tell you right now, in the name of the Father and the Son, he said stop playing with his name. Because y'all too quick to throw God in y'all mess, and it ain't God. So the most that y'all can do for that woman right now is to block her. Because it may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. But one day that woman is going to get back on this good old internet and she's going to regret that very decision that she is making. I'm all for going to therapy. All for marriage therapy. I'm all for realizing that marriages are not perfect, but there has to become a thin line. If you are a child of God and you didn't see that as a sign, it means that you might be worshiping the wrong person. Good day.
Have y'all seen that video where the lady was like, God restored her marriage after her and her husband had separated for about 9-10 months while she was pregnant, and he decided to go be with somebody else? I hear stories like that all the time as a divorce attorney, all the time. And the one that kind of stuck out the most to me was a couple years ago. I was helping this young lady. She had to be like 19, 20, early 20s. And she was trying to get an injunction and also establish paternity against her ex. And I'm asking her, and I'm like, yeah, what type of time sharing do you want? What's the schedule that you would like to request? Blah, blah, blah. And she started listing a whole bunch of effed up things that this man has done to her. Oh my God. I cannot say everything, but the one thing that stuck out to me, and I don't even know if it's true, but she said that one night he went out to the club, and I guess he went out with one of his little side chicks, and he ended up, doing everything with his mouth on that young lady, and came home and kissed her and the baby after he had did all of that on that young lady. I don't know how she found this out. Maybe the girl reached out to her. I wasn't trying to ask all of that, but I have so many stories like this.
I'm really just trying to figure out what was the reason of telling us a story about how God restored your marriage when you were just a big dummy the entire time. Anyway, so you guys were separated. Marriage wasn't going very well. That happens. That's normal, right? That's normal. He's living with his mom, living with your mom. God told you to pack a bag and put it next to the door. So you did that. And every morning you would stare at that bag. Stare at that bag. Stare at that bag. You say, I want to be obedient. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm being obedient. That man call you up to him, I want you to come stay the night with me. You're like, okay, cool. You go stay the night with him. Right? Because a lot of us would have done that. A lot of us would have been like, okay. But then you ended up moving in and you ended up getting pregnant. And as soon as you got pregnant, he said, I don't want this. I don't want you. That would have been my sign to tell God, like, I don't think this is working out, right? I don't think this is working out. Anyway, so you decide, okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to do this entire pregnancy by myself. But right after you found out she was pregnant and you guys are separated again, you found out he talking to his coworker, you talking to his mom talking about something, well, they're having fun. The way I would have fought his mama? What do you mean? What do you mean they're having fun? I would have started twitching, right? So then you go through this whole pregnancy by yourself, and the day you miraculously go into labor, this man is outside your house in his car. Okay, he follows your parents to the hospital. Y'all get there. He's sitting there snoring. He's sitting there sleep. He ain't talking to you. You're not talking to him. Your mother is barely talking to you. But your man, your husband, ain't talking to you at all. He's there. His mistress still texting him XYZ because she knows what's going on. She knows the dealio. She knows the rundown. She knows where he's going in the night. He leaves, come back with some flowers. He telling you a story. Oh, yeah, the flowers were in the car. Da-da-da-da, whoop, whoop, whoop. The hospitals also sell flowers. I digress. So you playing house with him again. You thinking, oh, he's back. But you noticing that he's still texting the mistress. Her name is still popping up on the screen. You say, I'm going to turn a blind eye to it. That is your whole husband. So you let that man cheat on you the entire time and then abandon you during your pregnancy. I fear that he would have had an ass whooping. The way my eye would have been twitching every single time that name would have popped up. Actually, the name wouldn't even popped up. The phone would have been broken. And I'm not even a violent person, but how dare you leave me for my entire pregnancy and then come play house with me, laying all up in my bed, and then leaving. As soon as that woman calls, you leave and he goes to be with her. Now you sitting there by yourself with the kids. And you think God told you that this is how your life was supposed to be. God showed you every single sign and you read them as, you was like, oh, I don't see red flags. Actually, I'm blind all of a sudden. I can't read. I can't read the signs. I can read them. I can listen to the prophetic messages saying 3 days, but you cannot read. You need God himself to come down, sit you down, and hold your hand and say what he needed to say, because every single thing you did was against God's wants. God was literally showing you this man did not want you, and he did not want your kids. Then he showed you that he did not want you. He wanted to be with another woman. He showed you that his mother was not to be trusted. And then he showed you in that labor and delivery room that he was not the man for you, because he wasn't even consoling you. He wasn't even making sure you were good during the entire pregnancy. And then in the room that you were delivering in, he was not showing you that he was actually present and wanted you to be okay. And the only why he held you was because the doctor told him to. So you waited, I don't know how many years. This happened in 2018, I believe. You waited this many years to tell this story on this here app and thought that people were going to agree with you. Oh, bless God. God bless. What? Be so for real. Be so absolutely for real. Are you just trying to justify it yourself? This was what God wanted? Because that's what it sounded like. Like, I'm kind of concerned that you were using God to justify your behaviors, your lack of critical thinking skills. Your survival skills are on 0. You're teaching, I hope you don't have you're teaching young girls that they should stay despite seeing all the signs that they should leave. All right.
All right, you heard it for yourself. That's all. Not all, just that there's a lot that people had to say. You can go and hoop up if you want to, but I'll only share this only because, yeah, why not? One thing about her is that, especially with the last video, this lady highlighted something that caught my attention, which is the part where the doctor asked the husband to hold her hand just to comfort her, and yeah, he didn't intentionally, out of his willingness, do that. He did it because they asked him to do it. And past that, what was he planning to do? I mean, first he was only being called that this is happening, and when he got there, he just sat there like, how do I even know those flowers were not even mine? They were of that other lady, because you're never gonna be able to confirm that, because on top of that, he was sitting in the same room with her, busy texting her. So you never know if those flowers were really meant for you, my lady. It's just it's a complicated situation. I don't know for who, but at the end of the day, we just have to mind our own business. On the other side, I'm just even thinking if, like, she took this whole thing with ease, the way she's elaborating the story on how she took it when he came there, when she was going into labor, they were not talking. They were in the same room, but they were not talking. And when he held her hand, she just felt this comfort, she felt at ease, It looks like she took everything with grace. I don't know if she took everything with grace and she's off grace, or she's just naive, I think one of those two is correct. I might be wrong still, but until then, let me love and leave you. Do not forget to subscribe, even comment. Let me hear what you have to say about this, what you think about this whole thing. Bye.